The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show. It's time to give a shout out to our official sponsor of The Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mian Mohsen Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, then you'll love Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia. Available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. It takes place in 4 countries with 2 strangers and 1 target where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available in paperback and ebook on Amazon. Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia has garnered great reviews and is even loved by Hollywood celebrities including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today. Order Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia, now available at Amazon.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartradio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, time to give a shout out to our official sponsor, international award-winning author Mian Mohsen Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, then you'll love Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia. Available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available on paperback and ebook on Amazon. Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today. Available on Amazon. Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia. Also, The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, and Apple. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn. Heard worldwide on Geo 7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with a wonderful singer-songwriter who happens to be kind of a traveler in a way, and he's also he's from Virginia, and he shares a true story about Ava's son with autism, and his music has been streamed on National Public Radio, the BBC, and Delta Airlines flights. And once you hear him and hear his music, you'll see why being on a flight is very, very pleasant. And he's got some albums out called Postmoderndays, Walking in Dreamland, Travelerstales, and he just has a unique Americana, folk, and soft rock style, just very distinctive and one of the best and the most relaxing out there. Live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studio somewhere in Virginia, Yes, Virginia may be for lovers, but this is where this guy loves his music. Ladies and gentlemen, singer-songwriter, the very, very multi-talented David Arn. David, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Mike, you are so good. Thank you so much for having me. I really have been looking forward to being on the show with you. Thank you so much.
Well, it's great to have you on as well, too, David, since your music has been streamed on National Public Radio, the BBC, and Delta Airlines flights, and makes me want to get on a Delta flight to come to you right now or fly anywhere and put your music on, especially when you got your music from Postmoderndays, Walkingindreamland, Travelerstales, and we'll also be featuring a song called Mother's Day, the Mother's Tales with avahart, and also talks about the true story about Ava's relationship with her son who is on the autism spectrum. We'll talk more about that. We'll also talk about some of your other music. And before we get into all that, tell us how you first got started, David.
Well, I first got started, my grandfather played piano professionally. And so because of his influence, there was always a piano in our house. And I just from an early age, I was taking piano lessons, studying classical music. And I really kind of developed a love for that. And at the same time, my mother was an avid reader. I mean, she would probably knock down 3 books a week.
Wow.
Always reading. And I seem to always recall when I was young, we were always going to the library to get books to read. So I had those 2 influences. I had the music influence, where I was studying classical music. And then I was just introduced to a lot of literature. And that's really how things got started. And then what happened was we were living in the New York area at the time. And I guess at a certain point in my life, WABC was the big channel there in New York. Scott Muni and was one of the big DJs there. And I started hearing piano played in a different way. You start hearing people like Little Richard, and then I said, "Well, there's more to this than Chopin," and I think that, and then of course the advent of the Beatles and everything like that really I said, I really don't want to study classical music anymore, and then just started getting together with friends and starting different bands, starting groups. I had the ability to play by ear. I can remember people who played in bands, at that time, before you had the internet, would bring, records to you and they want me to figure out the songs, figure out the chords to the songs for them and things like that. So that's really how I developed a passion for music and also for writing and back in high school, I was the guy who was the editor of the school newspaper. And when I went to college, I was an editor of the school newspaper and also editor of the literary magazine. And then later, I ended up in Virginia because I went to grad school at the University of Virginia. And while I was there, I was a contributing editor to the Virginia Quarterly Review. And that's where I really I published my first fiction, and I would write articles for magazines and things like that. So I was able to kind of develop both of those passions.
Wow.
And what happened was that about 10 years ago, I don't remember what the event was, but about 10 years ago, I started writing music. And I always regarded myself as kind of a storyteller anyway. And I was able to merge those 2 passions where I could tell a story through a song. And I also had had a certain amount of expertise with the music that I knew how to write it. And it just happened to turn out well for me. That's really how I got started doing it. And, like anything else, I've always been kind of an academic person, and I hooked up with a very good recording studio here in Virginia Beach, and I just kind of hung around for a while. I watched how they recorded, and I watched how they engineered, and they were kind enough to let me look over their shoulder and just kind of learned how to do these different things, and then started doing it.
Wow, that is amazing. I mean, you've got just an amazing background. Makes me want to do that. And you also talk about how you merge, music into storytelling. It makes me think of automatically back in the day with Harry Chapin, James Taylor, Gordon Lightfoot, and many others, Simon and Garfunkel. It almost seems like that's sort of like lost in a sense, but it just makes me think of, how that just skillfully weaves. And it makes you wonder. It's like, how much do people just want to come back? It just makes me think of it.
Oh, you're absolutely right. No, you named the right people. Okay, I mean, I go back, to people like Tom T. Hall and Jerry Jeff Walker, John Prine. Okay.
Oh yes, John Prine, my
right?
favorite. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, there's a story there. They're spinning a tale for you, and that's what I like. I think in every one of the songs that you hear on Traveler Tales, that what that actually is it's 14 songs. There's 14 travelers who are on a common journey, and each one is telling their story through a song. You see, and I go back to people like Dylan and Leonard Cohen who really valued the lyrics, I guess, is what it is. Mm-hmm. So that is really you're right in naming those people as influences. Those are the people that I like to listen to.
Mm-hmm. And who are some of your favorite authors growing up? Since you talked about books and you love literature, who are some of your favorite authors and writers growing up?
Oh, well, I love J.D. Salinger. I still remember reading, the first time I read 9 stories and read the story, A Perfect Day for Banana Fish. It was like
Banana Fish.
I was just hooked on that, But the classical authors like Ernest Hemingway. I have one of my passions is I also collect books, and I have. I don't know whether Michael had told you, but I have quite an extensive collection of Mark Twain's works, including some signed books by him.
Wow, interesting.
That's been kind of a passion of mine as well, is where I probably for the last 25 years have been accumulating those books, where I now have everything that he's ever written, like in a first edition. Mm-hmm. So, but again, there's my mother coming through. There's all my the academic life coming through, and in that, and I guess the joy for me has been, you kind of always, well, you know what I'm talking about on this, because you are so good at what you do.
Thank you.
And you're so passionate about it. Is that I know that when you're going to work every day, you're the only guy that's got a smile on his face.
And yes, I do have one right now without the video, Zoom, Skype, or anything like that. FaceTime, Facebook. Thank you. And, back in the day, it was like radio's a theater of the mind. And yes, I am smiling. It's like God is my witness. See?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's because you're at that point where you are just making your passion come true. You're doing what you like to do, and that's how I feel. When I am in my own studio and I'm working on a song, I'm working on a lyric, and when it starts to come together, it's like time has no meaning for me. I could do it all day and all night. If I was physically able to do that. But that's the place that I'm at right now. Is that I really feel very good about it. I'm working on some collaborations with people, and when I send them the final song, and I can just tell how their spirit just kind of lights up, like that. Oh, this is just amazing, And so you kind of get that reinforcement from what you do, and it's just a great place to great place to be.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm just going to say I think that was I had worked on Traveler Tales for about 2 years, and I was writing different songs and kind of reworking them. I really wasn't sure where it was going at the time, but then I saw the problem was that each song was a first-person narrative. It was where I was just kind of delving into a different personality, and I was trying to find out what their essence was. Everyone has a crack in their heart. I was trying to figure out what was the thing that they were struggling with. And I wrote those 14 songs from 14 different points of view, if you will, where you have a song like Mother's Day, which is the mother's tale. You have a song on there which is the veteran's tale. You've got the father's tale. You have the ex-lover's tale, that kind of thing. And so when I discovered that that's where it was going, then the work became so much easier. And again, I can carry that idea back to the education I had, because it was very loosely modeled on a piece of literature called Chaucer's Canterbury Tales, which was Chaucer was the father of English literature back in the Middle Ages, and he wrote this first person this narrative called Canterbury Tales, which were all of these pilgrims on a common journey, and each one telling their tales. Okay. So I borrowed that. Okay, I borrowed that from him. And if you saw the artwork on the front of the album, you'll see these different characters who are part of the album. Okay, walking up this mountain that has a kind of an indistinct cloudy top. They're not really sure where they're going. But that was the idea, really. And once that clicked with me, it was like, all of a sudden it came together, and I started reworking songs to fit into that format, if you will. Mm-hmm. And there were some songs that I couldn't, the ones that were from the female point of view. That's where I had to reach out to someone like avahart, who is a local performer here in Virginia, who is just so amazing. When she sings, the world just stops. Everybody wants to listen to her voice. And I went to go see her and kind of introduced myself. And I said, if I write some songs for you, would you sing them? And of course, she looked at me cross-eyed, like, what are you talking about?
What?
And, yeah. And because I really didn't have much of a track record at that time. And she said yes. And as we worked together, I said, well, what kind of a song would you like me to write? And she is the mother of a young boy who has autism. And she said to me, I would like you to write a song about my son.
Okay.
And so that was a challenge for me. And I remember I wrote a song quickly, and then had her listen to it, and she didn't say so, but she hated it. She didn't understand what the song was about, where it was going. And upon reflection, I don't think it was very good either. Mm-hmm. So I started doing again, this is where the academic life comes in. I started just doing some research online. I eavesdropped on some chat rooms of mothers of children who have autism, and just kind of hearing their stories and really getting down to what was their essence, what was the crack in their heart. And you hear some amazing stories of how their lives have been impacted by that, or perhaps their husbands have left them because they couldn't deal with the situation. And that becomes their job 24/7. When they have a young child to take care of. So when I had that information, I went back and I wrote another song. And I think the part of it for me that was, there's a line in the song that says, I'm never going to say if only. Mm-hmm. And when Ava sings that line, it really just has so much emotion. But that's the thing that all of those people mothers and fathers who are in that situation, that was the common thing that I saw there. That no matter that this fate has handed this to me, and I'm going to deal with it, and I'm never going to say if only, if only this had been a little bit different, perhaps my life would be different. And that became kind of the core of the song. So I recorded a demo for the song. I went to go see Ava. She had her headset on. I was just sitting there watching her to see what her reaction would be. How I didn't cut her any slack. And as I watched her listen to the song, her eyes started to well up with tears.
Oh, wow.
And she started shaking her head and said, yeah, that's the song. And we recorded it, and it was so authentic, and she brought so much emotion to it. The way I work is we do the songs here, and then I send them over to, I work with an engineer over at Abbey Road Studio in London, Alex Wharton. He's one of the best. He does a lot of Paul McCartney's material.
Mm-hmm.
I sent it over to him to work on, and he emailed me back and he said, she has a soulful aura, is what he said. He said,
soulful aura, interesting.
Yeah, he said, I really love this song, and we had the song, and I don't even recall writing it, to be quite honest with you. It was just like it just kind of happened, where I just wrote the song and then she sang it. And I just observed how people reacted to that song. And of the 14 songs, I knew that was the one, that was the card I needed to lead with, if you will. Mm-hmm. There were other songs on there that I liked very much, ones that I was singing and performing. But I felt like she had done such a great job on that song that is where I wanted to start. And I reached out to a Natasha Memphis, who was a dancer over in Russia, and had her do an interpretive dance to the song, which was been filmed as a music video.
Oh, wow.
And she does such a great job on it. I mean, you watch the video and you can just, and she told me that she had really gotten into it and was just exhausted at the end of it. And she did such a wonderful job on the video that it has just garnered a lot of views, especially on my Facebook channel. We put that up. I can't remember how many views and comments it got. The comments from the parents who are in that situation, just one after another, all of these comments about the song and about the video. So that was, of course, that was just great reinforcement, that we'd taken the song on the right path. Mm-hmm. So that is really, I have other songs on there that I like very much, but I think that was the great song. That was the right song to, as I said before, to start off with, because I knew it would have an emotional connection with a lot of listeners.
Mm-hmm. And certainly indeed, too, we'll talk about some of your other music, then we'll get to playing the song Mother's Day. But first, listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, time to give a shout-out to our official sponsor, international award-winning author Mia Mo-Sinzia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, then you love Missing by Mia Mo-Sinzia. Available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those who love will be the first to go missing. It's available in paperback and ebook on Amazon. Missing by Mia Mo-Sinzia has garnered great reviews and is loved by Hollywood celebs, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today, available on Amazon, Missing by Mia Mo-Sinzia. Also, The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, and Apple. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn. Heard take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile. The Mike Wagner Show from Virginia. And we talked about Mother's Day, the Mother's Tale. We'll with avahart. We'll play that song in just a minute. But you also got some other songs on there besides your albums, Postmoderndays, Walking in Dreamland, Traveler's Tales, which we have talked about a great deal, talking about Fortune Travelers. And one of them we'll talk about We're Not Broken, plus Not Amused, Black Dog, and Keeping My Distance and more. Maybe you can tell us about some of the songs you got.
Well, they're in different styles. Just as each one of the Travelers is different, I did them in different styles. There may be a folk style. There are some songs that are in a rock style. There are some in a folk rock style. There's even one that's got leans more towards jazz. And I work with some really good musicians, some fine people. That when I come up with an idea, I can throw it to them and say, let me hear what you come up with on this. There's a guitarist over in just south of Manchester over in England, Tobias Wilson. He and I have been working together probably for about 8 years. I think he's a genius. Mm-hmm. I mean, I just sent him the rough track, and he puts his guitar to it, and it's just amazing. And when I needed a saxophone on this, I reached out to a fellow by the name of Ian Smith, who's worked with the Temptations, Sister Sledge, Gladys Knight, wow, all of these people, and he just nailed the jazz saxophone part.
That's quite a pedigree.
Well, it is, and some of the backup vocals that you hear on there. One of the singers is a woman by the name of Tyra Juliet. You can hear her on Ed Sheeran and Pharrell and Demi Lovato. These are people who are seasoned professionals. And I always, people think I'm joking. I tell them the key to success in this business for me is to work with people who are a lot more talented than I am. That I can just carry the idea to them, and then they give it back to me in spades. So that is really what enabled me to write in different styles, you see, and then have it and then just have it come back in a style that would be reflective of the character in the on the CD, so that when you start off with something like "We're Not Broken," I mean that's the lover's tale. There's just about every one of these songs has a music video to it, and when you watch that, you can see what that is. It's really a two lovers who are not doing too well, and they're kind of having this conversation back and forth about we're not broken, we're only shattered, is the key line in that. But that has more of a rock sound to it. There's a song on there. Not Amused was actually a song that I had released about a year and a half ago that did really well on the digital radio networks, and the video that was produced by up in Brooklyn by William Murray actually won several film festival awards in New York City where it's filmed. But it was really about the observing the political situation. And just saying, don't be confused by the smile that I'm wearing, because I'm really not amused by what's going on. That's the irony of it, But every one of the songs on there, pretty much all of them, have a strong music video to go with it. As I said before, two of the songs on there were done by William Murray, a filmmaker from Brooklyn, New York, and they have won multiple awards at music festivals. The other one is St. Paul's Chimes, which is really about which is really about abuse, is what it is that I had reached out to an actress that was also a writer that had written a great piece about child abuse. And I knew her work. She was a model. She was had been in some good films. And I reached out to her and I said, if I wrote a song about that, would you be willing to be in the music video? And she said yes. She was in Texas at the time. So William Murray, who was in Brooklyn, he said that he would film it. And when she was in New York, they got together and he just made a fantastic video to accompany the song. I think that he and I we're kindred spirits. We're just on that same level. He understood the song, and I always try to write with a lot of imagery, so it makes it easier for someone who is going to render it into a video. That I'm leading them. This is the kind of image that you want to have in the music video. But he just did a powerful music video. And I think that let's see, I think that was it won three different film festivals.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
In the New York area. So it's again, it goes back to that. My philosophy on that is that I want to work with people who are very talented and who make me look good because they're better than I am. It's like I don't really take credit for that video other than the fact that I wrote the song. And it turned out to be pretty good. And that's really what has made it work. And I think that's why I've been very fortunate to have some very good reviews of the album. And and different people have different songs. They may say, I just got an email from someone who had written an article about it, and they had picked the song "Fallen Bird." Say we "Fallen Bird" that we just added that to our Spotify playlist, and then from somebody else they might say, well, here's what the song that we added was maybe 13 Days. So it appeals to different tastes. You see, I think that's what makes it work.
So basically, it's just speaking to what they're feeling right now, relating to the traveler. That's what it sounds like.
Yes, I think it is. It's just like we're all on a common journey, and what it's really not. These are not songs that you dance to.
Right.
This is not. So a friend of mine said today, this is not Louie Louie,
nor EDM, hip hop, or whatever. So
yeah, exactly. But it is really more music that is more contemplative. I think it's the kind of thing where people want to concentrate on the lyrics. They want to hear what the story is, and the greatest compliment I can get is if somebody listens to it. And I can remember someone left a comment at one time. I said, it was like 3:00 in the morning, and I was listening to this song, and it was exactly what I needed at that moment. And that's what I want to hear. That's why I do what I do. I have another song coming out where I had shown the music video, and some of the comments that I got on that were just from people that. It takes place in New York City, but just saying that, I just really identified with the emotion of that song. The person I've been living with for 40 years is in the hospital with cancer. And then I watched your video, and it was exactly what I was feeling at that moment. And I think that's what I aspire to. I'm trying to tap into that emotion in a person who may have that crack in their heart, who is maybe looking for some kind of answers, and they can listen to that song and they identify with that particular song. That's what I'm trying to do.
Mm-hmm. And where can we find your music at, including Postmoderndays, Walking in Dreamland, Travelerstales, and more? Where can we find your music at?
Well, you can find the music on davidarn.com. Thanks for asking that. That's where you can find it. My Facebook page is David Arn Music. I have a pretty active Facebook page right now. That has been, I think we just hit over 6,000 followers now.
Wow.
On Facebook. So that's been pretty good. It's the kind of thing you aspire to. And also on Spotify, David Arn Music. We've got about 14,000 monthly listeners right now, going through the songs. So that's where they can find it. I'd love to say that they can find it in their local record store, but that's that doesn't exist anymore.
Well, the way things have been going, I'm ready to say local record store. I mean, vinyl is back in after all. So
You're right. You're absolutely right. But it's all about streaming these days.
Mm-hmm. Exactly it. And we're going to go ahead and play Mother's Day, The Mother's Tale with avahart in just a moment here. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios, and brought to you by our official sponsor, international war-wearing author Mia Motion Zia. And we'll be back with Mother's Day, The Mother's Tale with avahart and David Arn here on The Mike Wagner Show. We'll be back after this timeout with David Arn.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention The Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real-life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. It talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamotionzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on over 30 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, Apple, and more. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn, where The Mike Wagner Show interviews great guests, cool conversation, lots of laughs, coffee, and more. Take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device, subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today.
Hey, this is Ray Powers. And if there's one thing you can count on in these unpredictable times, it's that you're in good hands getting some great radio, courtesy of The Mike Wagner Show.
We are back with singer, songwriter, multi-talented David Arn here on the Mike Wagner Show, and he's from Virginia. We talked about the Traveler's Tale and a lot of stories and songs and everything, and it's just been amazing. And right now, we have featured for you Mother's Day, The Mother's Tale with avahart, and David Arn here on the Mike Wagner Show. So here's David Arn with Mother's Day, The Mother's Tale on the Mike Wagner Show.
I'm always fighting an invisible war my prayers haven't seen before. In soft glow of moonlight, I sin so easily. Meltdowns yet to be. Little one, let me rock your soul. For in the morning, the ladder to your sleep is much too steep. your soul. Never gonna say if only. Never gonna say if only. I'll set my course by you. My hands are strong and I accept you for yourself. Every day, every sleepless night long. Let me rock your soul. Never gonna say if only. I'll set my course by you. My hands are strong and I accept you for yourself. Every day, every sleepless night long. Rock your soul. Rock your soul. Gonna say if only.
Great song, David Arn with Avahart, Mother's Day, The Mother's Tale here on the Mike Wagner Show. Just a fantastic song, David, and it just really brought me to tears.
You're quite the man. Thank you so much, Mike. I really, really appreciate that.
And where can we find Mother's Day, The Mother's Tale, and once again, all your works at?
Again, you'll find those either on my website, davidarn.com. You can find them on Spotify. David Arn Music is the Facebook page, and it's streamed in a lot of different places. I think if you just Google it up, you'll be able to find it.
That is amazing too. We're here with singer, songwriter, multi-talented David Arn here on the Mike Wagner Show. We'd love to thank you for being on the show. You've been absolutely fantastic. And just a few more things here, David. What can we expect from you in 2021 and beyond?
Well, that's a great question. I am actually working on another project right now, which is has a working title of Alone in 7 Pieces, and it's mostly songs that I've written during this lockdown. You know, you see, everybody's indoors these days, and so it's the songs are a little more intimate. There's more acoustic. It's not quite the big production, but that I've been working on that as well right now. We've got one video already done, and we have another one that's in the works right now. So we're trying to get that project off the ground.
Oh, that's so amazing. Keep yourself busy. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career, David?
The biggest influence in my career? Oh my gosh, that is a tough question. I think it would have to be a teacher. A teacher I had in college by the name of Nicholas Rinaldi. He just passed away from COVID. He was a writer. He had published three novels, and I had him as a writing teacher when I was in college. And he was somebody who really believed in me, and he just built up a lot of confidence in what I was doing. And his obituary was actually in the New York Times. He never really had the celebrity status of a lot of other writers get, but his writing was reviewed by people like Thomas Pynchon and Joseph Heller, some of the main American writers. And he just had a very strong influence on me when I first started taking his classes, in the fact that I think he kind of got me, and he just knew how to guide me in a certain way that I felt confident and with my writing, and developed it in that way. So it may sound a little bit weird, is the fact that, again, I regard myself as a storyteller in the music, but he was the one that really kind of got me started on the path.
And that is so amazing. What's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
The best advice I can give is, if you discover what your passion is, you've got to do two things. You've got to show up every day to do it, and do what you say you're going to do. It's that simple. I mean, that's in any job, any profession that you get into, is that conversation is cheap. And there's a lot of people out there that want to be musicians, or they want to be writers, or they may regard themselves in that light. But you really have to show up every day, and you have to do what you say that you're going to do. And I think if you do that, you will be very successful. And you know that.
Yeah.
You know that.
Hey,
more than anybody.
Hey,
you're all over the place.
Hey, we're living proof, David. That's all I could say. We're living proof.
Absolutely.
Even the Geico lizard's living proof. He loves what he does.
No, that's right. You nailed it.
There you go. Yeah. We're here with singer-songwriter from Virginia, David Arn, the Mike Wagner Show. David, a very big thank you for your time. Had a lot of fun with you. You've been absolutely great. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor. Keep us up to date. Love you back on 2021 and beyond. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase or listen to your music?
Thank you, Mike. It's been quite an honor to be here. David Arn Music on Facebook. davidarn.com is the website, and you can also check out my YouTube channel. We have about 20 videos on the David Arn Music YouTube channel right now.
That is fantastic. Once again, David, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor, keep us up to date. Love you back on in 2021 and beyond. And don't forget to keep in touch. And one day, we all may be traveling.
Okay, Mike. Thank you so much.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, Custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host, and I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real-life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamotionsea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.